Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and I'm joined with Mark Olroyd from Suddenly Comics, and we are the Price Variants, where we are going to be talking about the hottest Silver Age comics of the week. And this week, it's actually April Fool's. So I'm not going to be showing the biggest, craziest comics. I want to show some of the quirky ones that you never see. So that's a little bit of the
Does
thing.
that mean we haven't got a pesky arachnid, Alan?
Well, I have to give one thing for you. Like, I don't want you to be sad. So, I have to give one spider for you,
So even in quirky April first week, we're going to get a Spider-Man.
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get into it. What's the first book?
Right. The first book is indeed a bit odd. Captain Atom, How Do You Catch a Ghost?
Yeah, so actually I own this book. When I saw this, I actually thought, wow, that is so incredibly cheap.
It
Like
is.
$43 for 50. These books are really hard to get in high grade.
Yeah.
Like Charlton books. I learned a lot about Charlton actually. I did a video where I was talking is I just merely mentioned it. And then I got all these comments. Oh, did you know that Charlton and like all these things. Um, but I guess Charlton, the way that they started was they would do the backs of cereal boxes. So the type of press that they used was not designed for comics. So a lot of the stuff, the comics would kind of be very poor, very low quality conditions. They just wouldn't survive. And another thing that they did was they were mainly a printer house for, like, as I said, box of cereals and different cards and stuff like that.
Now,
And
Alan, I'm going to dispute this.
okay,
I know that is what the reputation was, but I have got a book on Charlton, and
okay,
this thing that they printed cereal boxes is not true.
it's not true.
I don't think it's true. So
Okay,
one of us is right and one of us is wrong. I think it might be that the printing press they bought used to do cereal
cereal
boxes
boxes.
before they purchased it, but I don't think Charlton themselves produced cereal boxes.
Okay, and so the other thing that I was told, and you can verify or like deny this one, like it is April Fool's, so we never know. Is that they were like a print house, not meant for comics, but they were a print house, and they decided to do comics because then they could do it late at night and just have the press running like 24/7. That was the other rumor that I heard.
Well, so the guy who ran Charlton, I do have a book on Charlton,
Okay,
and I have read some of it. So the guy who ran Charlton was actually a bit of a he was an Italian, uh,
okay.
and he did illegal. He started off by doing illegal music sheets. You know,
Oh, interesting.
you used to be able to buy sort of
Yeah, the cheapy music sheets. Yeah.
yeah. So he used to do sort of pirate music sheet type stuff.
Okay.
And did a whole range of sort of very early sort of comics around hit music and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
He actually ended up in jail
Oh, wow.
where he met another slightly shady character.
Nice.
Anyway, they then eventually, after a bit of toing and froing, got into the comic printing industry. Uh,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, and they paid the lowest rates in the game, and they had the lowest quality paper.
Yeah.
So
That's consistent between all the stories.
yeah.
So the interesting thing about this comic, by the way, this Captain Atom 82, is it is the first appearance of Nightshade. Okay?
Oh, okay.
And Nightshade is the character that is the basis for the character for the Watchmen.
Oh yeah,
So a
Silk
lot of
Spectre. Silk Spectre.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So a lot of the characters from the Watchmen were based on Charlton characters.
Oh
So
yes.
that's how I knew this one, because I was sort of going around picking up all these Charlton
Yeah.
books.
So the story behind that, I know a bit about this one as well because I'm a big watch.
Oh, good, good.
So what happened is DC picked up when Charlton picked up all the rights to the Charlton characters, so Captain
Hmm.
Atom, Nightshade, Peacemaker, they got them all, and they weren't doing anything with them. And so Alan Moore was there, and they said to Alan, "Do you want to do something with these Charlton characters?" So he said, "Yeah." So he did the Watchmen originally using the Charlton characters.
Okay.
Did it into DC, and they went, "Oh my God, you can't do this. We'll never be able to use these characters again." Uh, so
Okay.
so then he said, "Okay, I'll change them all so they're not actually the Charlton characters." But then, of
But
course,
they are the char they are
yeah,
the char
yeah,
Yeah.
so yes, all the characters in the Watchmen, all of them, you can identify which Charlton character. So
They
Captain
came
Atom
from
is Dr. Manhattan. Is
Dr. Manhattan. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, so they're all linked to Charlton characters. And originally he was going to use the Charlton characters, and
Hmm.
they said he could do. And then they when they read this Watchmen story, they go, "Oh no, that would kill all these characters."
Wow. So that's really cool. I knew about the fact that he had used the characters. I didn't know what the logic was why he changed the name. So that's cool to know.
Yeah,
Very cool. So this is a cool book. Is my At the end of the day, this is a cool book.
I agree.
Quirky,
Ridiculously
but
low
cool.
price. I'm annoyed I didn't see this because
Ah,
I did put some bids in on this week's Heritage Silver Age
so
auction.
this is with the buyer's premium. So this book
Yeah, I know.
probably
Yeah,
went for like $1 or something.
yeah,
Like like a $5, $6.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, about the minimum, even if you bid $1, it
is
costs
32.
42 or $43. So this probably went for a
Yeah,
dollar.
yeah. Yeah, so sad. So
I
sad.
tried to
And
find these type of things. I did get one at a really
mhm.
low price, which was an early Kirby Monster one in a 5.0 for about
Wow.
$80 with buyer's premium.
I picked up a Canadian white for $2 bid.
Really, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah. I was like,
crazy.
oh, okay. So
So
yeah.
there we go. I think this is a cracker. $43, by the way, Alan. If we go to go collect, then for a 5.0, that's the only one.
So it's a record. We got a record.
It's a
Actually,
40.
it looks like it's a fair market value too.
Well, no, that's fair market value because they've just recorded that sale. So
But
that
I mean, if you look at the FMVs
yeah, it's
around it,
about right, isn't it? Well, if you look at the
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's not an expensive book. I think it's well undervalued.
But it's such a cool one. I might pick up a slab. I have a raw version of it. I'd like to have a slab version. There's only 119 of them on the census.
There is
It's like a
indeed. Yeah,
rare, cool book. I mean, I actually like the cover too.
yeah, it is. It's a good cover. Yeah,
Hmm.
heavily undervalued. If I'd seen that, I would have bid on it. I didn't see it. I
Yeah,
probably say I I look for the horror stuff and I look for the Batman and detective. So I probably don't look at the C's, which is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right.
Well, that's sometimes when I look at Silver Age stuff, I skip all the amazing fantasy and then I end up skipping like some other stuff that is there.
Atom.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
right. Number two. We've seen this one before, and I've got this. This is Adventure Comics. It's a really nice grade though. 332.
yeah.
$119. Look at that for an 8.
So
We're getting some cracking bargains at the moment on Silver Age. Now is the time to buy, guys.
yeah, so this is a great deal. And this book is interesting. So I was doing a live stream with Stephen,
Yeah,
and he was talking about this book, about how we were talking about the Legion of Superheroes
yeah.
and Lightning Lad.
Lightning Lad
And
loses his right arm.
yeah, this is the book where he loses his arm. That
Is he
creature,
losing it to this fish?
yeah, he zaps it and then it reflects back and then
Oh,
he loses his,
he's lost his he's got a
he
prosthesis.
gets he gets like a metal arm.
Yeah.
So yeah, isn't that awesome?
Yeah, $100 and something dollars. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it seems really low for
Yeah.
such a cool book. So yeah. So when I saw that, I was like, oh man, that's quirky and it's kind
And
of
the only one.
again a record. Wow, we're 2 for 2 for records. So quirky books gets records. Okay.
Uh, I mean, this just hardly ever sells. So there was a sale in 2022 of a 921680. So I think an 80 for $119 is a good buy.
Yeah, I know. It seems like a good buy. I mean, it's a pretty it's a pretty good price for something which, you don't usually see in that high grade. So
No,
yeah, there's only 30, is it how many?
I've got a raw beat up copy that's probably a 2.5 or something.
There's only 34 copies on the census.
Yeah, look at that, 34.
I mean, it is a low priced book for the
Yeah,
most part. Unless
yeah,
you have it in high grade, you're not going to get it graded. But still, really cool one. I thought,
yeah,
it has a cool flying Moby
yeah,
Dick monster
yeah.
on the cover. Um,
Right. Oh, here we go. Here's the Spidey. Amazing
yep.
Spider-Man number 12. It's not one we see very often. I have to.
Yeah, so I wanted to do something, as I said, quirky. This one's a little quirky. He gets unmasked by Dr. Octopus.
Right.
I think this is actually the third appearance of Dr. Octopus
Let
too.
me
I'm not
ask you a
sure.
question. If he gets unmasked by Dr. Octopus in issue 12, what's been happening for the last 5 million episodes of Spider-Man
I,
where nobody seems
well,
to know who he is?
you'll have to read it. I haven't read this one, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they all like had like amnesia. Um,
That
yeah.
comes later, though. You can't keep using the same plot device.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's like Lois Lane. I mean, come on. Um, so yeah. Or is this maybe his fear? Like it's all just a dream.
Uh, yeah.
That's another trope that they
Now,
use.
tell me, do you think this comic originally belonged to Gerald or to Rod?
Or Rod. So probably Rod stole it from Gerald because I'm just going by that. Like,
Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah.
so yeah. Um, so what key features does it say about this book? I think it's the third
Third
op
appearance of Dr. Octopus.
yeah.
There's a letter from Dave Cockrum
Hmm. And
and
Steve Ditko cover.
cover and art. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, just a cool book. It's not a typical one that we show, so hey, why not?
Yeah. And how much did this go for? Oh,
One
only
night.
it's a 3.0 for $192. I mean, the arachnid, that's quite a low price for a low.
Yeah, it seems actually I would say it's a fair price, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, 3.0, 190. Oh, I'm afraid it's down. That's the lowest price, so it's a record low.
Record low, wow. And normally it goes for around
Uh,
276.
276 is the 1 year average.
Wow. So way down.
Yeah,
Okay.
not a
Oh
good,
well.
not a good
Well,
time.
that's Marvel. We knew this about Marvel
Well, how many
anyways.
of them are there? Well,
Not that many actually,
compared to
considering.
the last two that we looked at, but I agree with you. It's not in the 4 or 5 thousands, which is what we usually get with
Yeah, yeah. This
Spider-Man.
is around 2000. So that's yeah, about like half normal. So, you'd kind of expect that. It's not a major key.
No,
Um, so yeah, but it is a cool book. I actually always like the cover of this one. It's one that I actually have on my want list. But yeah, I think it's cool.
there we go. Right. Next up, the Atom number
So you
one.
mentioned the Atom, and we get the
I
Atom, see?
did mention the Atom, and there he is.
And this is the Atom number one.
Atom number one for $540 in an 8.0. That sounds like
Yeah,
a steal.
it seems like a good deal, but
I mean,
DC's
the Atom isn't really A-list superhero.
no.
I mean, probably back in the 60s, he probably was, but he's not an A-list hero anymore, is he? I mean,
Yeah. And this is a first appearance too. It's the first appearance of the Plant Master, I guess.
yeah. Oh, there's also a letter from Dave Cockrum in here. Did he write into every single DC?
He's like he's spamming them in order to try to get included. Um, so yeah. So that's I don't know. I think it's a cool book, 1962.
Yeah, early Silver Age. I like the guy. I like this guy here with the sort of scary
Mad scientist. Yeah.
mad scientist type guy.
Yeah, yeah. they always have to wear either that kind of like that's the sort of mad scientist standard uniform.
Yeah,
You know, if you're going to be a mad scientist, here's your uniform.
yeah, you have to
Um,
wear the white lunatic asylum costume.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay, how much did this sell for?
what
Oh,
5?
40. I think
Mm.
so, surely. An 80.
So there's 700 on the census.
Oh, the FMV is two. Was it an 80? The FMV is
80, yeah.
1750, and this just sold for 540.
So this one, somebody got a major steal on this
Yeah, the
book.
1 year average is 659. So this is definitely a steal.
Wow.
There's nobody buying comics on Heritage at the moment.
These Silver Age ones
I
have been
say
really
nobody, I
this.
keep getting outbid, but
That's how it always works.
that's because I'm a cheapskate and I put low bids in the hope that I'm going to win some stuff.
I'm actually surprised that it's that expensive normally. I mean, it is Atom
Well,
number
first
one, but
appearance of Atom. I mean, Atom is a fairly major
no,
character.
it's not his first appearance. It's the first appearance of the
Sorry, yeah,
Planet X
sorry, but it is still Atom number one. It's the first
title.
title,
Yeah. So yeah, or ongoing series or whatever the way that they want to do
first
it.
title series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, I mean that's wow, a third. This book went for a third of its record. Wow, that's pretty sad. And that's actually a year average. So that's not even like peak. Like what? Oh, we can't
no,
do
no, the
that.
year average was 659.
Oh, okay. So
It's got to be
it's
slight.
down.
Take this fair market value slightly at a pinch because it's based on these sales at higher levels.
Mhm.
So I always think it's better to look at the averages.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Sometimes I find that FMV is just like some
It
very
depends on how many
arbitrary
sales.
number.
If it's a high selling book, the FMVs are usually fairly accurate. If it's, there's two or three sales a year, then it becomes inaccurate. And how many of
Mhm.
these are there? There won't be a lot of these.
It was 700. Yeah.
So in 80 and higher, there's probably less than 30.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
If you look here, so sales are going to be few and far between. I mean, look, there hasn't been any sales in these grades here. So
Yeah, I think this is also one of those books where probably in this grade or lower, it's a little bit more common, but in those super, super high grades, probably just like a ghost.
yeah,
And you can see that based just on the sales alone.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
Right. Next up, Journey into Mystery. This isn't the usual one with that guy with the hammer. This is
No,
Journey into Mystery 78.
and it's the prototype for Doctor Strange.
Is it?
Yep, the
Where?
sorcerer.
Looks
It's
like
the sorcerer.
I think it's Doctor Who invading. You see this thing here?
The little
Is
letter
that
box,
the TARDIS?
the phone box. Yeah, the TARDIS. Yeah.
And that's David Tennant, isn't it?
So yeah. So yeah. So yeah, it's supposed to be the prototype for
Oh, is this guy meant
Doctor
to
Strange.
be the prototype of Doctor Strange?
Yes, yeah, the sorcerer.
Right. Okay. What year is this?
62.
Oh, when does Doctor Strange appear?
I think probably a little bit later, 62 or
Which
63.
issue? Which issue does he appear? Strange Tales.
110. 110.
Yeah. Okay, so Sarah Stanley and Larry Lieber story, Steve Ditko, Jack Kirby, Jay
Exactly.
art, Jack
Yeah,
Kirby as cover, character called the Sorcerer appears, Doctor Strange prototype, Christmas story,
yeah. And white pages, by the way, for
and
this
what
book.
pages? Yeah, nice. And at
Hmm.
7.5, it's a nice looking copy.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like I always say this, but it looks better than a 7.5. But I don't see any issues with it. And I don't know why it's 7.5, but
That bottom right hand corner's got some problems.
oh yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, very nice. Well, it's interesting to see Doctor Who invading the pages of early Marvel comics to influence the course of MCU history. Right.
Hmm.
Conspiracy theories abound. Okay.
Yeah.
How much was this? Oh, what have I done? Oh, I think I've just moved down, haven't I? Yeah. Right.
Just click the next tab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 7.5.
There's only 129 of these on the census.
Well, 552. It's another record. It's the only one.
Yeah. So we got a whole bunch of records this week. So, maybe that's a good sign. I don't know. Like obscure books going for some big money.
Yeah. Yeah. Strange protozoa. There's a 5-0 here going for 275.
Hmm.
That's reasonably tempting.
Yeah. I actually have this book as a raw copy in my collection. It's quite cool.
Yeah. I had not seen
Yeah.
this before. Right. Very good. Yes.
So a Marvel record, a good way to end it. Um, so again, thanks for everyone for watching. Um, go over to Mark's channel and there will be some really cool books on his channel. No more spiders. Sorry, Mark. But but there'll be stuff on his channel. Check it
Yeah,
out.
it's usually me that gets the spiders because,
They're usually the higher priced ones.
the
Yeah.
the higher prices. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Bye for now.
Bye.